All right, welcome to another special episode of the Sound. I am Kevin Harris,
I am Matt James.
and we have the pleasure today. The band is making waves, ladies and gentlemen. They've been making waves for a little bit now. We've got the pleasure of speaking with James from the band Versus Me, and we are going to bring him in right now. And hopefully he'll go back. Nope, he didn't go back where he was supposed to.
But I can see myself. We're good. It's up and
All
running.
right, James, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me, guys.
No, we're stoked to have you. I'm just going to start off with I honestly I cannot remember if I have seen you guys live. I think I have. I think it was at Club LA in Destin.
Oh yeah, I remember
And,
that one.
and I think that was with Kingdom Collapse and the Funeral Portrait.
Yeah, gosh,
Okay.
that would have been back in 21, maybe 20.
Yeah, 21, 22, somewhere
Yeah,
in there.
something like that. Oh yeah, I remember that show. I remember that place. That place was really cool.
And then I get the pleasures of seeing you at Rock Fest this year.
Yeah. I'm
And
excited
then
for that one.
you all are on Incarceration as well, correct?
Correct. Yep.
How exciting for a band um to get named to these festivals, because I know it's really hard to get named to these festivals. I mean, there's hundreds of bands on these festivals, but it's really hard to get on them. How cool is it when you get that call to say, hey, you're going to be playing Incarceration, or you're playing Rock Fest this year?
That I tell you, that email is an exciting one to get because as a band that's trying to keep climbing every year, those festivals in the summertime are like the big ones that everybody wants to be a part of. So you're going up against everybody in the industry pretty much. So yeah, when you get to see the lineup, with everybody else, and you're like, oh my gosh, this band is playing. You're looking at, you're like, wow, this festival is going to be insane. So yeah, it's really exciting.
Rock Fest. This will be my first time at Rock Fest. I did Louder Than Life last year. I'm doing Rockville this year. I'll probably do Louder Than Life again. But Rock Fest is my first time this year. And when they announced the lineup, I hadn't bought anything. And when they announced the lineup, I'm like, well, shit, I'm going to this one. I'm going to figure out how to get there. I'll get the ticket. Then we just got to figure out how to get there. So
Rock Fest is such a good time too. It is a fun festival throughout the week. So yeah, it's a good time.
So start us off a little bit with Versus Me, from the kind of the inception of the band to kind of where you're at now.
Yeah, so it started off with my brother and I, my brother Lee, the bass player. We kind of started off coming from a previous band. We started, I don't know, just trying to make the next moves to get Versus Me started. And we caught Dustin online posting some of his music that he's just been writing, and we're like, wow, this guy's really good. And we hit him up. We started working on songs almost right away. And yeah, we ended up coming across JJ. This was probably about like 2015, 2014, that we got started with Versus Me. But we met up with JJ about I want to say 2017, 2018. Because previously Versus Me was a 5-piece band, but as things started to shift, trying to figure things out, we became a 4-piece and found that it kind of worked really well. We were able to achieve the same sound we wanted and have less opinions in the band.
Right.
So
Right.
it's always a nice thing. But no, it ended up working out really good. And I basically started the band Versus Me as the just screaming, and then as we kind of evolved and became a 4-piece, yeah, I ended up doing both the singing and screaming, and then from there we kind of hit our stride and figured out what kind of sound we wanted to do. And I think it's evolved a little bit since our earlier stuff. If anybody's scrolling and heard some of our earlier stuff, it's definitely a little bit different sound, but I think it's finally evolved into the sound that we've been kind of aiming for. So it's cool to finally figure that out.
You talk about online, you met them online, or you saw them online and stuff like that. I swear to God, if we didn't have the internet, 80% of these bands wouldn't exist. or they may exist and not in the inceptions that they're in. So it's amazing. You get pissed off at the internet sometimes and online stuff, but if it weren't for it, we wouldn't have what we have. So
Right. Well, we wouldn't be able to do this, would we?
It's so true. It's true. We said that in multiple times. How did bands tour before like Google Maps and like, you know what I mean? Printing out the directions and trying to read them as you're, oh my gosh.
Right.
I mean, that was a time where that was the reality, and I could not imagine that now. That would be wild. Probably half the bands would tour.
right?
Literally one big massive piece of paper with the whole entire route of the tour on
Turn
it. Like
here. I think it was here. I think it was this exit. I don't know. Just keep. Yeah. That would have been.
At one time when I was booking bands, I had a map up there, and I was like, just so I could pinpoint areas, and I'm like, God, this sucks. God, this sucks. So I was like, finally, I put one on the computer, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to live right here.
Yep.
So
100%.
So, you got the new single out, Echoes.
Yeah.
And we're going to play the video from that. Tell us, and it's climbing the charts. It's doing really well. So tell us a little bit about Echoes.
So Echoes, when we went into the studio to record that song last year, it was a completely different song. It was one of those that you start with the demo and you kind of record stuff and you're feeling okay about it, but you're like, maybe we'll all get together in the studio and kind of figure some things out for it. And once we got in there, we kind of started dissecting it, taking it apart. We like this part, but we don't like this song. Next thing you know, we've got a completely different song, but it's one that we are completely happy with. We've been sitting on this song for maybe like 6 to 8 months waiting for this one to drop. So we've been very excited to finally get it out, finally release it to everybody, and hopefully having a good reception for it. But it was a good one that we've been planning on. The music video concept, I've been thinking about that from the inception of the song too. So it was kind of one of those things that went hand in hand and all kind of just fell into place.
Well, we're gonna play it real quick, and then we're gonna come back, and I want to talk about your upcoming year, your upcoming plans, and things like that, because I think honestly, for people, if they don't know of you, they definitely need to. So for our fan base and our viewers, we want to make sure that we dig into what you have going on. But we're going to show Echoes real quick, and you are watching the sound.
It's like I'm lost again. Can't seem to catch my breath, and I know I can't make sense of it. A fear is setting in. I can't still hear the echoes in my mind. I'm struggling to let go, 'cause I still hear the echoes, been trying hard to let go, and I still hear the echoes. I'm struggling to let go, 'cause I still hear the echoes.
And there you have it. That's Echoes from Versus Me. Great tune, dude. Great tune. I love it.
Banger.
Thank you.
When you guys play the festivals, do you guys get the opportunity? Do you guys do your VIP meet and greets or anything like that?
If they have something set up for us for that, we absolutely will. That's usually the best time. Sometimes if they don't have certain things designated for everybody, maybe they reserve it to like the top, 2 or 3 headliners. They
Right,
might
right,
sometimes
right.
if they do that, we'll try and find like a place maybe by the barricade or something where we can just meet people and say hello. That's the one time where it's like, oh, we can't go back by the merch table because it gets a little chaotic back there. But yeah,
I literally asked that question for myself, by the way.
Yeah,
So-
however the means possible that we can, just high five people and just kind of thank them for coming out. We'll figure out a way to do that.
So going into the start of 2026, of course, you're riding Echoes right now. Now, when you guys first started the band, you were, it was still that kind of era where you were dropping albums. Now you're more single based. Do you ever see another full album coming?
It's hard. Like, so I think the last album we did was 2019. And so we've got enough to where we could have bunched all the singles that we've released over the years as an album. It was just one of those things where you notice when you drop a whole album, people kind of skim through them really quick, and the attention span of everybody's is so short. Whereas you give everybody a song maybe every couple months, you get more, eyes on it, and plus you can take the time to really dive into each song you release, as opposed to like, well, we've got 5, 6 really good songs, we need 10 for an album, so let's just kind of, you know what I mean? We kind of end up with those sometimes throwaway songs, if they call it. You try to avoid those, but sometimes just by nature, some songs just get looked over just because they're not pushed with a music video or to the radio. So I think we're gonna try and release more singles and then maybe compile some of the stuff that we have into an album. I know sometimes the fans don't necessarily like that because like, we've already heard that. But just from the band side of things, you get more out of your music when you give each song more attention.
Right.
And so we have been liking that method. However, it is nice to have a piece of work to advertise as a full, with a full album release, to have something around that. So I don't know. We're mixing in ideas of maybe, if nothing else, dropping like an EP or something that has 5, 6 songs, where we can do that more frequently than every 2 years drop an album kind of thing.
Right.
Like I said, everybody's attention span is so short.
Definitely. So. Like I like albums because, like you can see there, I buy vinyls, and
yes,
I love listening to like the vinyls, and I'll buy signed CDs at merch and everything like that. But with the way streaming services are gone, where people with playlists and stuff, like you say, they'll listen to the album once and then they'll pick their best songs off it and then stick it on a playlist with a load of other bands. It's just the way I feel it's gone.
Well, in the way that the streaming services work, a lot of times you can only push a song to some of the editorial playlists. So you're only getting an option to just pick one song.
Yeah.
And whereas, a lot of times there's a lot of good discovery that happens when you land on these playlists. So you look at it like you could release an album and get one shot by picking your one song to release, or you can release them individually and have 10 shots of potentially reaching new people through the playlists. So it's, there's the pros and cons to it for sure.
Absolutely. So what is what's the plan for first half, second half of 2026 tours and stuff like that? Are you there yet, or are you still planning?
Yeah, we are. We are still. We've got some tours in the works that we're kind of finalizing. A handful of kind of like, just like one-off shows, just to kind of keep things busy. But for the most part, it's just putting out, getting the music ready. We want to have a few singles dropped before these festivals, before festival season. So, this first half is kind of like, I think we'll probably knock out maybe like a tour and a handful of just like one-off shows, in the addition of prepping some new music. So staying
Bob,
busy.
I've let Bob know if you guys want to come down south to Biloxi, Mississippi. We got you.
Okay,
Yeah.
love
gotta-
it.
We got to get you there.
What I want to know is when you coming over the pond to the UK.
He's actually in the UK.
I'm in the
England.
UK, man, and I just went and pulled it off my wall. I've had this sat on my wall for
No
about 2 or 3
kidding.
years, and I am still waiting to see you.
I mean, I feel like we're overdue to getting over there. I know that's the plan. We definitely have been talking about it. It's kind of finding the right tour for us. I don't think we are in the position to be headlining overseas yet. So it's kind of like lining up the right thing for the right time. But it's definitely on our list, and we have talked about that. So I know we're ready for when the time comes.
Give me an excuse to hire a camper van and follow you around the country, man.
Yeah.
So let's get into some stupid stuff real quick. So on your touring, because you guys have really toured a lot and you've hit the road a lot. What's the strangest thing that's ever happened to you out on the road?
Oh man, strange. I know we've had a few treacherous drives throughout the winter times in February in the
I could only
Midwest.
imagine. I
don't know if that's necessarily strange, but it's definitely one of those things that's like uncomfortable, and you're like, why are we in Iowa or Indiana, Illinois in January, February? I mean, like I said, we're from Wisconsin, so we understand the whole driving through the snow, but touring around those times is definitely a treat. It's definitely interesting. So we tend to, if we can help it, try to stay out of the Midwest from like December through March.
Right.
No
right.
offense, everybody. That includes us
Yeah.
too. So
Definitely.
Yeah.
Something came to mind then, though, Kevin, when you said, what's the strangest thing, like touring wise? And I thought to myself, probably touring with Jonathan Norris.
Hey, that's a treat. That's a real treat.
Yeah, we love that. We love that dude.
He is. All those guys are great dudes. We've known those guys for a long time, and we've had some of the best tours with those guys. It's a really fun time being out with those guys. So, and they're doing well too. So things are picking up for those guys. I mean, everybody's kind of at that point of the year where things are starting to ramp up a little bit, but it's awesome. It's awesome to see.
And it is exciting when on our side of it, because we like to do the news and stuff like that, especially when you get into late December, early January, when all the tours start getting announced, all the festivals start getting announced. I'm still waiting on the Louder Than Life lineup to be announced. And it is exciting for these first month and a half of the year, because that's when everything just kind of, you're like, shit, I got to go get a loan if I'm going to go to all of this.
You can start mapping out your summer festival, stops.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's buy the tickets, figure out how you get in there later, isn't it?
That's it.
Well, and that's kind of a lot of times what happens with bands. It's like you get the festivals lined up, and you're like, okay, now we got to figure out some tours that route to or from there or around there, and so we're kind of in the same boat in the same sense, where it's like, okay, well now let's figure out the rest of the summer kind of thing. So
right, let's see if we can earn some money going there and coming
Right,
coming away from there.
Yeah.
If somebody were to if a new band were to come up to you and ask you for some do's and don'ts in the music business, where would you kind of steer them to?
I would definitely say write as many songs as you can. Do write as many songs as you can, because you are going to write a lot of terrible songs. It's just inevitable, and you want to get those out of the way, so that way you can get to the stuff you're really meant to do. I mean, it's almost inevitable you're gonna have terrible music, but I would say find out your sound, early on if you can. It's really important to establishing your overall aesthetic, your vibe, what you're going for, what you want to put out to people. Try and find that out early on, and avoid touring until you're ready. Because a lot of groups think right away, I got to get on the road, and it's a big wake up call because it's tough. It's costly, and the shows aren't amazing to start off, and you definitely got to put in that work online, building yourself in this day and age. You got to build yourself that way so people know who you are. And it's sometimes, unfortunately, it's the old way was just get out on the road and play and play and play. But nowadays you can put out a reel or a TikTok and have 50,000 people see it in potentially a week's time versus going out and playing a show and having 10, 20 people there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like Matt asked the question a lot of where do you find your new music at? And luckily with what we do, we get emails of new music and stuff like that, but I will sit there and I will scroll through reels all night long and finding new music and then I find out that band's been around for like 10 years and I'm like, damn it. What have I missed? Now I got to go down the rabbit hole and dig through everything to find out what I've missed.
It's where it starts now. Your fan base building starts on social media now. That's how it's done.
It's unfortunate because it's like, you think about it, you're like, I started a band because I wanted to do music, and that is the case, but nowadays it's content creation and learning how to run a business.
Yep.
And because if your business part of it's not right, that's gonna affect the art in the long run. Because it's just hard. You gotta have a balance of everything. You gotta have a balance of everything.
Yeah, and you've got to wear so many hats now in this industry. You've got to do the social media. You've got to create the content, the music videos, the marketing, stuff like that. That some people, what I do in my other company is we are a social media marketing company for bands. And people come to us and they're like, we're just getting burnt out. We can't do everything,
It's true. It's true. It's very taxing, and I think that's at the point where it kind of separates the bands that excel versus the ones that don't. Like, that can kind of either just work through that mentality. I'm not saying everybody gets burnt out, so you want to take breaks as needed, but you gotta have, like you said, wear multiple hats and figure out what I can do versus what this guy can do, and then collectively we're all doing something different that benefits the picture in the long run.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Well, James, thank you for joining us. I look forward to seeing you at Rock Fest. I'm super stoked to see you guys again. So
I look forward to it. Thank you guys for this. Appreciate you.
And good luck with the summer tours and festivals and stuff like that. And I'm looking forward to new music from you guys. And I hope the best for you guys.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you for all of your
new
support
music
over the
comes,
years.
James, I'll be slapping it in rotation. Don't worry.
Love it. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful night.
Have a good one, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So that was James from Versus Me. Man.
Dude.
Good dude. Like I said, I can't fucking wait. I've seen him that one time, and I've been wanting to see him again. So I'm going to get that opportunity, and that's great. So
yeah, I've seen they put on a killer live show.
So all right, well, we out, and we will talk to y'all soon, whenever possible again. All right,
we get there.